Good evening, and welcome to Basement Quality Banter, episode 62. Good evening, Angus. Do you have a beverage?
Jody, just got a Slipstream Sundrift Hazy. Nice. Start with.
I do not think I've tried that one.
No, it's in my beer subscription. I saw that. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of those guys. Oh, that one from Slipstream.
Yeah. Caesar, do you have a beverage?
I do. I have a fresh as fuck number 6 IPA.
Very nice. Well, I also happen to have a fresh as fucking fuck IPA number 6, the 7% 500ml hazy red edition, known as Beer It's What's for Dinner. So not having dinner tonight and having a 7% 500ml tipple is probably good to go. Oh, Angus, the look on his face was that hazy is very nice.
Yeah, they've got a lot of orange and peach in it. It's just absolutely cranking in the aroma.
Well,
good. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
It's a lovely red.
Nice.
Yeah, this is really good. When Lockie was asking, what we wanted for the releases of FAF, I said a red in autumn and a black in winter. So I'm hoping the next FAF beer is going to be a black IPA. However, it's a really nice red. It's I found it when I tried it on, I think it was Monday, quite sessionable to sort of start with. It's nice and easy, and then it builds in bitterness in the end. And since you missed that one, Angus, I will keep one in the fridge for you next time I see you, so you can get to try it as well.
I've got some for you too, because we still have to do that one that your sister got us.
Yeah, I've still got the New England one in my fridge. I haven't drunk them. Still sitting there.
They survived the move.
Yeah. One's a West Coast IPA, so it's been in the fridge the whole time, so they'll be fine. The other one's a what was it? British something or other.
Did you have British an old Bruin or something?
Yeah. So a bit of age will do it. Good.
Alrighty, in beer news. So King River, the highly awarded traditional style focused brewery, has had to make the tough decision to close its popular tap room. It's terrible news for those who enjoy the whole King River experience, regional Victoria, open wood fire and fantastic kitchen. The business, for the business, we know tap rooms provide the highest margins. So I really hope they get through the tough period. A place I haven't visited, but I would love to visit down there. I love what Mr. Munt does and all the beers that they make. And speaking of getting through a tough period, Six String Brewery has come out of voluntary administration, and the creditors have voted to hand the reins back to the Six String team and keep the business going with some operational changes. Perhaps a payback schedule was included for those creditors. Either way, I think that is a really, really good outcome for everyone involved there at Six String. The best thing you can do to support these struggling businesses, of course, is to buy their beer. Simple as that.
Buy local.
Yeah. No, it was amazing with Six String because they, went to the bigger venue, and going into VA, it looked like that might have been a bad move. But the fact that the creditors have voted to hand it back to them, I think that maybe they weren't as in bad a position as they thought, or they've come up with a really good plan. So all the best to the Six String people and the King River people, of course.
It's potentially that the move in sort of stretch them a little bit further than they expected to. So
yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
Sometimes VAs can be as easy as assigning the responsibility of reducing staff sizes to somebody else. Sometimes it's easy as that. The administrators come in and have a look at the staff and go, well, we can cut 3 people there, 4 people there, and 2 people there, and they're just decisions that directors don't want to make.
So they're not always potentially at the end of the business. They might be smaller VAs than catastrophic VAs, I guess.
Yeah, well, a VA is a voluntary administration, so something that the business owners have chosen to go into. So it's not creditors taking them to court saying, "You bastards owe us money,
Yeah.
pay us now." Like a VA is the business owners realizing that they're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
And just getting some specialized help in hopefully trading through the VA period. Having agreements with your creditors on repayment schedules and whatever else needs to get that VA over the line. So quite often, not quite often, but sometimes, it's much easier having external people who people already think are bastards coming in and making decisions about, cutting staff and, shutting down smaller venues, that sort of thing. So
maybe Six String were really proactive and ahead of the ball when it started to look bad, and maybe wanted to get on the front foot. Maybe they weren't as bad as some of the stories we've heard previously. So
the earlier you get specialized advice,
yep,
the more likely your VA is going to stand up, and that you're going to be able to trade through it with goodwill with your creditors, because that's quite often the worst thing to do is burn your goodwill. Then you come through and you're getting zero credit, zero, harsh terms because you've already burned them once. So yeah,
And
getting advice early
the last thing you want, So particularly the last thing you want to do is let the tax department dictate what the terms are.
Well, they're often the biggest creditor in most of these brewery VA is the ATO. So
but that just because of that, they don't get all their own way. So
no,
it's got the voting has to be majority of creditors and the majority of the debts.
Yeah.
So just because the ATO is biggest doesn't mean that they're the only guys that get listened to.
Yeah.
And I'm moving a little bit outside my expertise here, so I might shut my pie hole.
No, it's all good.
This is not advice.
No, I'm just a computer guy.
It's basement quality. People don't take this as Crafted Festival is going to Melbourne this year, November 21st on St Kilda Beach. So I reckon Crafted is spreading its wings and try to get in on the territory that Gabs doesn't have. So that sounds like it's going to be a really good venue. It doesn't have the smoke portion as the Gold Coast one does.
Don't they have a Newcastle one last year? I think that's happening again in September. I think it is. So they're doing a second run in Newcastle. Yeah.
So they're doing well with that. And Caesar, you had stuff about Deutsche Bank.
Yes. So it was just a little thing. So they have the Deutsche Bank drops their 2026 Oasis Index report. Basically, what it is, it tracks the cost of a standard night out, which is 500 ml beers and 2 packs of 20 smokes. It's a lot of smoking. But anyway, from that index, Melbourne officially took out the global top spot as the most expensive city for a night out, followed at 159 Australian dollars. And Sydney is right behind it at 156 Australian dollars. The wild part is a night out in Melbourne is double what you would pay in New York. Absolutely insane.
It doesn't surprise me. Smoking is, when I was in Germany last couple of times, there's cigarette vending machines on the streets. There's no regulation of kids not being able to buy smokes. They're still smoking in restaurants. I know as Europe still comes to grip with it, and they're really good at other things. Smoking is something that Australia has really taxed to buggery, which has also made the illegal tobacco thing so big in Australia as well. But it was dumbfounding to see that the only litter in a lot of these countries that I saw in Europe was cigarette butts.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who the politician was during the week, but he was saying that you mentioned the hectic growth of the illegal tobacco industry.
Yeah.
And he was saying that reducing the tax on cigarettes or tobacco products would do absolutely nothing to change the growth of the illegal tobacco industry. And I smell a big steaming pile of bullshit on that one. If you make smokes cheaper, people will buy them. Make them more expensive, people will find other ways to get their tobacco.
Yeah. So I've probably said it here before. I stopped smoking when my packs were $10 a packet. And I know they're about $40 or $50 for a pack of 20s these days. So I don't know how people do it, and that's why they go to Double Happiness and other brands like that they can get. And they seem to be able to do it really easily too. I don't know how all this illegal tobacco is coming into the country, but the fact that you see it everywhere without the plain packaging, obviously it's easy to get it in, obviously, somehow.
Yeah, I knew a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy
Mm-hmm.
who drove trucks for a living, and
Yep.
so he had access to tobacco.
Whatever.
He would drive around and sell it. So he just had plants in the back of his truck. He would just drive around and just sell plastic garbage bags of it to people.
Oh, so just chop, yeah.
Yeah, this was 15 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah. I had customers when I was in Harvey Bay, and he was a fisherman, and he'd bring a bag of prawns and get a bag of chop. That's sort of just it was just sort of the economy then, and I think that was even before plain packaging came in. It was just crazy. You also had a story, Caesar, about our favourite topic, not the BBC, but Brewdog.
Yes. Well, it was the BBC that reported on this, but basically, the BBC reported that the Brewdog boss or ex-Brewdog boss James Watt is trying to stage a massive comeback. He officially has thrown his hat in the ring to bid to buy back the business from Tilray, the US beverage and cannabis giant. They bought the Brewdog after the collapse with over $500 million in debt. And what is emailing all the old equity for Punk's investors whose shares were quickly taught, and is apparently promising their stakes back for free if his bid wins. So he's definitely trying to win them over with his new brand, Second Best. I'm sure the Punks are highly skeptical, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think he's dreaming. I think, yeah, the fact that Tilray came in and bought it and then took on debt and, yeah, and then fired people, offered people jobs back for the different ones. It's just a cluster. I don't know how he can be in a position after Second Best has only not recently launched. Yeah, I just do you remember NFTs?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just got a bit of that around it, doesn't it? Yeah. And
I'd be highly skeptical from a tax point of view too.
100% dodgy. You had the opportunity to run your very own hop-on brewery tour last week. Tell us all about it.
I'll say I drove them around. To be honest, Joss, the owner, did all the work. She organised the breweries. She organised the tour, or told me where to be, where I was going, and even did the education portion of the tour. Now, admittedly, we had some of the team from the kitchen at Archer who's having a birthday, and they brought along Stu the owner and a couple of the boys from the bar and one of the brewers, the guys from the back, the brewers, and so Joss had to be on a game because they know their stuff. So we started Archer, or they started Archer. We do it down a hiker at Salisbury, where Joss did a really, really good education. And even for those that do know stuff and those that don't, it's well worth doing on these tours just for that education portion, like how, what you're looking for, part of what you do when you're judging, what you're looking for, the smells, how to taste. One of the big rules is tasting 3 times. Tasting 3 times. Always give 3 sips to every beer you drink. And she also went into some of the, the bit more of the technical stuff around the malt and the yeast and and all the different ways that the brewing process happens for those who do or do not know. So, which is always good. I mean, yeah, sure. Look, you're not going to. There's things that even you will, the guys on the tour know what they're talking about, but it's still very interesting, and it's just a good fun day.
Fantastic. And what breweries did you end up visiting?
So I went to Hiker. Then we went over to Slipstream, had a fantastic lunch there.
Yep.
The guy's birthday. Joss was really wanting us to try some of the seasonal stuff, but we got the guy who was on his birthday to do the choice, and he chose pretty much all the standard stuff. Well, I say standard. So the core range.
Yep.
He still didn't try his accent. He had a sour on there as well, so it was good on him. But he is English, and his wife in particular appreciated it. And then from there, we went over to the Working Title and had some of the very interesting beers that they've got there. So they had a what is it? It's like a Mexican popcorn lager.
Ooh.
It was one of the ones that I had on there. It was actually very sweet, but quite nice.
Interesting.
Tough for me to really. I couldn't really have like a mouthful because I was driving, but it was some good fun, and that was And they finished up at the German club. I got a beer after I dropped the bus off and at Hiker, and
fantastic.
That was my last week.
So, glorified chauffeur for the day. Some cracking beers at some cracking Brizzy breweries. Market Working Title does some weird and wonderful things. That's really cool. And you also wanted to make a quick shout out to the Pink Boot Society.
So I think we reported that Joss was a recipient of one of the scholarships, and so they just posted the other day about that coming up again. So the applications are officially open for the Full Color Life Jane Lewis Scholarship. So offers free, highly tailored one-on-one business and career strategy sessions with Jane to get your submissions in if you're navigating a crossroads in the industry.
Yeah, Jane Lewis is a pioneer of pink boots in Australia. Of course, one of the owners of Two Birds when it was going, and she's also one of the forces behind the beer championships, that new beer competition. So, yes, if that sounds like your jam for working females in the beer industry, definitely put your hat into the ring to learn everything you can from Jane, who's been around it and seen it all. You would definitely pick up something. So some really cool stuff there. Now, Angus's choice this week to choose a brewery in 10-ish questions.
Yep. All right. Where you go?
Yeah, we're here. Have we got you?
Yep.
All right.
Is it an Australian brewery?
Yep.
What state?
South Australia.
Ooh. Okay. Are they independent? Well, are they classed as independent for the IBAs?
Oh, it's a question I don't know the answer to.
So Cooper's
They're-
is technically allowed to be in the IBA, even though the Brewers Association won't allow them to be. But the IBA lifted the volume,
Yeah.
and the Brewers Association, they're not allowed to be because they're only in with Asahi and Kirin because of the volume.
Look, I don't know the answer, but they are owned by a South Australian group. I imagine they'd still qualify for IBA. That's a bit of a guess.
A group.
Oh, wow.
Would we have seen their beers in Queensland?
Yep, I've had their beers in Queensland. Not all that common. Joining this group in 2022, they got access to better national distribution.
Were they part of the defunct collective that was named? I can't remember. Oh, Mishmash, is it?
No.
Hmm.
So I think that's 6 questions now.
So if they're owned, it's not something like a Pirate Life or something on those lines? Because they got bought by TUV?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're owned by a pub group in South Australia,
Yeah.
or the largest pub group in South Australia. So that's where I think they'd still qualify for IBA, but I'm not sure.
That's not the Wheatie, is it?
No. 7.
Pub group.
The pub group is the Duxton pub group.
They own a brewery. I'm thinking of all the South Australian breweries I like Prancing Pony.
No.
That's where
It's
I was thinking of.
It was established in 2014, so they're pretty old, I suppose.
I don't even know what it would be.
Shapeshifter?
No. I'll give you a few clues. They've got
You're
a run
killing
of
me.
They've got a run of beers with their brewer name in it, and then the style of the beer, and that's it. Very simple name. So brewery name, beer style.
Barossa Valley?
No. They're launching
Or is
beer.
it like Vale?
No, they're launching beer in 2013 was a barley wine.
Well, that's
So
how you launch a brewery.
So that's
That is-
they're known for doing really big, dumb beers.
Oh,
They
is it like Hopes or something? Is that South Australian?
They got quite a few
No.
something fest. Big beers, something fest.
Oh.
No, you were thinking Hope's near Newcastle.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
What else have I got? I come across well known for. I came across them from some of their well-known, massively stupid big beers, but they have ranged across all styles of beer and are very good at producing beer. One of their bigger marketing employees was to release 12,000 cans of hazy IPA, but name and label every single can differently.
Yep.
Because they were trying to break the untapped algorithm.
Yep, I had that. it was an IA. Each can was done differently.
I'll give you the name of their launching barley wine, which probably should give it away. Galactopus.
There's like Galactic.
And they
Galactopus was the name of their launched beer, the barley wine.
Okay, Little Bang.
Yep, Little Bang.
Yeah.
Ah, of course it is.
Oh, that hurt my brain.
Little Bang Brewery, located in Adelaide, founded in 2013 in Phil's garage. They started brewing in the garage and got licensed. So very similar starting story to Madoc.
I love a good garage brewery.
Shifted to their first venue in 2014. Shifted to a larger venue in 2018. 2022, they were acquired by Duxton Pub Group, which is South Australia's largest pub group.
Remember that, because then they could vertically integrate those beers into the pub group. It made really it made really good sense. Yeah.
Yeah, the one clue I didn't give you about the 12,000 cans of hazy IPA. Some of the names were slippery antelope jazz, complicated dingo sauce, and asymmetrical pirate conspiracy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if it was not obvious, the names were produced by an algorithm.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I had a
If you're
few
going
of
to
them.
name 12,000 beers, you're going to use some form of computer system and algorithm, right?
Every can was different, but the beer was the same. I remember that. Yeah, really cool. Like Little Bean.
I mean, hell of a way to label them, though.
Yeah. Well, I think that was when digital printing just started.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, really cool brewery. Thanks for that one, Angus. I like that.
That's fantastic.
Did we get it just in 10?
No.
No, we're well out. We just kept listing breweries that we knew because we couldn't think.
Alrighty.
We couldn't break it down any closer.
I think that's all our beer news, isn't it?
Only thing I had, and I have to apologize. I've been very slack tonight and a bit of a passenger. I've got one lot of beer news. We moved to a new house. The old house is sold, so that all that stuff's behind me, and I'll be back to my normal quality levels next week. So the only thing I've got is a strange twist to the Bogues Brewery story.
Yes.
There's chat getting around that the Tasmanian government is said to be exploring the idea of purchasing the historic James Bogue Brewery in Launceston. The article talks about the brewery, or about them buying the brewery, and then 2 lines further down it talks about the government buying the brewery site. So the article itself is a bit confusing and vague as to what the government's actually even thinking about doing. Classic government modus operandi, just confusing and no real details. You don't know what they're talking about.
I mean, technically, you can say I bought a brewery. You just bought the old brewery. It's still a brewery, just not a working brewery.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit confusing about whether they're buying the venue or the site, because that kind of says to me, like, buying the venue means you're buying the brewery and looking at continuing it being a brewery. But if you're buying the site, then you're buying the address, buying the land, and maybe not too concerned about what was operating there beforehand.
Hopefully, they do something like a TAFE sort of thing or something, support the Tasmanian brewing industry, or even do something like what Blind Boy are doing with, or Gypsy Brewing stuff.
I think if the government wants to chip in and help the jobs and the economy without spending the money to buy the name Bogues, they could buy the site and operate it as a brewery, feed that beer across Tasmania, and probably revert it back to its original name, being the Esk Brewery. And then you wouldn't. And then I think people would still like to try the Esk Brewery beers without the technical attachment to the Bogues family name, which has been sold off, and then that can continue on the mainland, and Tassie could have a government-supported Esk Brewery, perhaps.
I've got some other things as well. So, Bogue's been operating since 1881, so technically making it older than Australia itself. And they currently employ 42 workers, but the site only produces at 20% of capacity. So, it's kind of an easy financial decision for accountants to make. If something's operating at 20%, it's not worth running, close it down, shift production. So there's a petition that's been organised by the employee union, or the employees union. That's gathered around 3,500 signatures. But Lion has made it absolutely crystal clear that the Bogues brand is not for sale. So Tasmanian government will not be able to buy Bogues. That's locked up, and just yet another case of a global megacorp swallowing up a local brand and locking it away.
It's interesting because, like, a couple of weeks ago, we had that there was a memo saying that they would be open if the price was right to sell the brand and the site. So there's a bit of to and fro with that.
I don't think the government's going to throw up enough money to buy the brand off
No,
off Kieran. So,
but
I-
Esk Brewery,
Yeah.
as it originally was, I think that could be a viable option.
yeah,
And
that's cool.
tourism, and because that's what it was actually called. It was James Bogues and Sons Esk Brewery. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but
and
you can find a way to bring it back to it.
yeah, my final strange point is Kieran has apparently expressed interest in exploring small batch opportunities with Tasmanian brewers. So that seems really weird to me.
why? Why would they do that?
Yeah,
When
why?
they've got a brewery.
Yeah. Already
Yeah.
got a brewing name from Tasmania, and yeah, it's just strange, eh?
The government, what they should do is, they got the power to rename the suburb around the brewery, call it Bogues.
And then it's technically, but you could rename it, classify it as Launceston City Council suburb of Bogues. You can't
Bogues
not
Brewing.
trademark it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Sneaky. I like it.
Yep. Sneaky is good, and it's what Australians do. So in sport, I've managed to watch a bit of the Goodwood Festival of Speed over this last week. It's all free on YouTube if you want to catch up. The Chinese marks and electric numbers continue to grow. Considering they're in a heat wave, it's been quite dry and dusty across the normally lush grounds of the Lord's front driveway. The electric cars are really fast. The Ford Mustang Mach-E had over 1,000 kilowatts. However, none of them really sounded right. And then you had the screaming Formula Supra, which was a Toyota Supra with a V10 fitted, or the Gordon Murray T50 with a screaming V10 as well. And even Damon Hill took his old Williams up the hill, which sounded amazing. There's nothing better than the oral of a internal combustion engine going up the slightly long driveway and hay bales of the driveway there at Goodwood.
It's such a tight track. It's crazy how fast they go up that driveway. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be emasculating driving. Yeah, it's like got 1,000 kilowatts. But imagine taking the Mustang up behind like any of the V10s or anything like.
Yeah.
You know, no one's gonna love you.
My favorite car though that I saw was the Lightning McQueen car.
Yes. Yeah, they had a Lightning McQueen replica there. Yeah.
White
and they did
walls
a pretty
or
good job of that. Yeah.
Oh, it it was the Speedway.
Speedway on the narrative.
Yeah.
And Max Verstappen's GT3 car tried to do a burnout and ended up in the hay bales. It wasn't him driving though. It wasn't him driving, but it was a bit embarrassing. But yeah. No, if you want to catch up on Festival of Speed, jump on to YouTube. It's all free there. There's some cracking stuff. It's always a good watch.
Yeah, I saw something on Facebook this morning. I'm like, I didn't even know Goodwood was on. Completely missed it.
Now, see, normally you hear about it because it's before the British Grand Prix, so there's a lot of talk because there's a bit of a gap in there normally if they weren't rushing so much at the F1s. But because they had that and it's after and it's between here and Spa, and that's why it sort of snuck in. But well, back what you're saying, it wasn't Max driving. That's actually one of the really good things. It's actually kind of how they get around F1 testing. They put the test drivers in these show cars. They're normally 2 years old when they at least, or 3 years old, just to give them a chance in the cars, even if it's not the main car.
Yeah, Liam Lawson's driven up there. Greg Murphy, took some V8 supercars up, and you name it. There's been some really good stuff up there. Ken Block with the Hoonicorn and all things like that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the brat that did Bathurst with Travis Pastrana, he was up there too. So, what do we call him here? The Subaru Brumby, the little Ute.
Yeah, that's the one. Brumby Utes. Yep.
And they call it a brat. So yeah, he went up too. So And the FIFA Fraud Cup finishes this Sunday, and it will see Spain versus Argentina. Spain are odds on having secured the rights to the next World Cup. However, Lionel Messi will look to retire on a high. I saw a great post today from supporters of Cabo Verde, who drew with both Spain and Argentina in their pool matches. So shouldn't they just be given third?
I think so.
Yeah, and it's not coming home in England. Sorry, no.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to one of the other dads at rugby last night.
Yeah,
and I was saying I think I want Argentina to not lose it just a little bit more than I don't want England to not lose it either.
Yeah.
I imagine that was most of the world's like, screw England.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a really good meme. It was Harry Kane talking to one of the Spanish players saying, "Oh, I'm playing Argentina tonight." And the Spanish player said, "Yeah, I'm playing them on Sunday."
That's very good.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
NRL, so my West Tigers are in the news again for the wrong reasons again. Jerome Luai has signed for the Eels for a single year, and honestly, he should go now. Hasn't been any good since he signed with PNG as a marquee signing. Considering the overs we paid for him, it's been really disappointing. And this is also on the back of Benji Marshall having to stand down some players for missing training. So it's all going to shite at my Tigers. However, the NRLW, the women's continue to win, so they're shining a light on the team. Rugby Nations, how did you go to, how'd the French game go with your son, Angus?
The first half was excellent. Second half, dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the atmosphere was awesome. The atmosphere, like, it's probably maybe 2/3 Australians to a third French, but there's a lot of singing going on and chanting. That's why you go for the atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
I haven't rewatched the game yet on TV because there's a few things that I want to rewatch. But the one thing that stuck out to me was just Australia's lack of game management. A couple of points in the first half where we just made really dumb decisions. The second half where one of our boys got sent off for 10 minutes. The French had already scored 2 tries in that 10 minutes because we were a man down, and they were just carving us apart. And so we had the ball on our 22. We'd done a couple of forward hit-ups, and there was 40 seconds left before that yellow card player was back on the field again, and they box kicked it. Up until that point, we had lost every single box kick we'd done, I think. And so the decision to do a box kick with 40 seconds left is just stupid.
Yeah.
Just get your forwards to truck it up. Either side, 3 players, set it.
Through.
You can lose ground. It doesn't matter. Just waste 40 or spend 40 seconds.
Maintain
kick the ball over the sideline. Get your player back on the field. Even numbers again. Game management. Like, don't give them the ball when you're a player down.
No.
It's only 40 seconds. Spend the 40 seconds with the ball in hand. Just frustrating.
Yeah. But good atmosphere at Suncorp.
Oh, it was great atmosphere. Yeah, it was awesome. We were outside the stadium, probably about 15 people back to get through with like 4 minutes until kickoff.
Oh,
and
wow.
I think they actually must have delayed the kickoff because James and I ran down the steps and got in our seats. So about 10 seconds later, they kicked off. So they must have waited, but the Suncorp Stadium is so well organized. Like, it only took us 6 minutes to get in, and there were still hundreds of people outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a really good stadium to watch at. How's the AFL going, Caesar?
Well, the Lions absolutely demolished Essendon last week at home. The Bombers lost by 90 points, so 149 to 59. But they had scored 1 goal in basically pretty much the first half. They were single digits for half the match. It was ridiculous. They couldn't kick straight. The Lions had them, and then they just took the foot off the throat by the fourth quarter and let them get back into it, or not get back into it, but let them have a few gimmies, really. Both sort of just eased up and, which fair enough, to be fair. They're, round 18, trying to injury manage, I guess, so they're just taking it a bit easy and no point injuring yourself when you're 100 points up. So,
yeah.
But this week is a tough week for travel, not necessarily for game. It's actually quite an easy game playing West Coast, who are also bottom and struggling. But they're going to have some niggles with Harley Reid, who is the next superstar, really. If he's on his game, he'll stir some shit. Possibly a bit of knifey spoony happening, but should still be a win.
Yep.
So.
Fantastic. The last thing I had was we've mentioned briefly over the last couple of weeks the cricket, and Brendan McCallum has been shown the door, and the English era of Bazball has finished. Unfortunately, he'll have to coach a T20 or the 100 team and make a lot more money. So it's been an absolute schmozzle English cricket, and I think they need to get back to grassroots and maybe get their captain to instead be a sponsor of about 100 different brands like our national captain is, and they might get back onto the normal playing field instead of trying to play every test match like a T20.
No, I understand with cricket, they've really the T20 has really gone away with modern, with old school batting styles, but there's still a bit of a place for leaving a ball outside off. Like if you look at some of the statistics, the ball might hit the stumps once every 3 overs. Like you really don't have to play every ball in a test match.
No.
Yeah, but if you're getting paid per run, whatever these guys are getting paid, there's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, see, here's the funny thing, right? So there was actually an article this week on cricket for the about the Sheffield Shield, and the Sheffield Shield bosses are contemplating what to do with the structure because 80% of the games, 70% of the games finished inside 3 days. So they want the game to be more test match conditions, so less arduous onus on green pitches, which because first innings points are worth so much more. So I don't know, maybe there's something in it for how they even dish out the Test championship points. Not at the end of the day, Test cricket's about the win in total, but they do have this World Test Championship, and maybe they can factor in that a little bit to give them a reason to go past 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Go back to full stadium or full grounds and 3 innings each. There you go.
Yep. Good call. And no helmets. Yep. Let's do that.
No helmets to bring back Jeff Thompson and Lilly.
It was really funny. One of the most interesting facts about cricket is they invented the box 50 years before they invented the helmet.
Yeah.
All right, legends. Great chat as always. We still seem to be splitting it pretty much more about sport at the moment. Beer must be a bit quiet in the world. But thank you everyone for listening to our nonsense. Jump on the Facebook page. Watch us on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you want to listen to us. Join in the conversation. If you want us to try some beers and talk about them, or if you want us to talk about any topic, let us know and we will. And 62 episodes down and probably 62 more to go. So thank you very much for chipping in, and I'll see you fine gentlemen next week.
Thanks, guys. See you, everyone.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Adios.